ball.
How you doing, everyone? My name is Bert Hansen, and I'll be your commentator today for this away game for South Florida Football Academy versus IMG. We're coming to you live from Bradenton, Florida, which is the primary fields for IMG, as this is a large campus with numerous soccer fields as well as other sports that these kids come here to play. IMG have numerous champions from across the state to include football, tennis, soccer, and other sports, but today we're just concerned with the MLS Next U14 division and seeing how they're going to perform today against these South Florida boys. South Florida coming off of a tough loss to Orlando City, lost that one in the last few seconds. As my co-hosts have told me before, it just never know how it's going to end. Today, Coach Greg is missing his main striker, Nick, but has filled in with Tiago and JC up top, and having Gavin, Julian, Brian, and Martine in the midfield, as well as Kawa, Idan, Lano, and Matthew making up the backfield, with Big Brandon in as our goalkeeper. We'll see how everything pans out today, as it is a hot one, and hopefully having these extra reserves on the bench will be a huge benefit for Coach Greg. IMG not faring as well, having to dip into their reserves today to try to fill out their squad as they've had a number of injuries throughout the season. But looks like we're getting ready to go here as the team captains head for the coin toss. Lano and Idan are going to be your team captains today, and they're looking at which side of the coin they're going to pick. I always go with heads, just a little known fact about me. And looks like we lost the coin toss, and Idan's going to be selecting the side as IMG is going to start off with the ball. Word from our sponsor, Techie Apparel, T-E-C-H-Y, Techie Apparel. If you're looking for any type of soccer clothing or shoes, head on over to Etsy.com and type in Techie Apparel. You might come away with some custom cleats and or custom apparel that you would be the envy of anyone on the field. Stop on by when you get a chance. That's on Etsy.com, Techie Apparel, T-E-C-H-Y, apparel for your unique soccer gear. Boys have come out of the huddle, and they're approaching the field. Let's take another wider look at this field, this beautiful field here at IMG. Look at that. Hey, you couldn't ask for any better grass to play on than this right here. And look at that sky, ladies and gentlemen. Not a cloud in sight. Where else are you going to find that but here in sunny South Florida, or Central Florida, I should say, in Bradenton. And there we go. We have the kickoff of the match. IMG placing the ball long up the field. Martine comes down with it, and he's trying to make some motion down on the right side. JC now in possession. JC playing it across, looking for Brian. Can't find him, as IMG now has the ball and control of the field. They try for another lob pass over the center, this time more accurate, as they hit number 11. Number 11 playing it safe, playing it back to the center backs here, as IMG tries to reset, but oh no! Fatal error there as they pass it right to Julian. Julian's now trying to make something happen with Lano, as Lano gives a nice ball up to JC, but he just doesn't have the wheels to get to it this time. Speed, an all-important factor in soccer. You got to be sure to when to make those runs and when not to make those runs, because you could be exhausted by the end of one, and you need to have enough gas in the tank to finish out the game. IMG goalkeeper kicks the ball up the field, immediately turned over to South Florida. But again, IMG's defense stands tall. IMG running down the field now. Nice ball into space. Can 19 finish? Martin there to cover and is able to come away with the ball, but gives away the first corner of the day. You can see there's not much of a backdrop here, just some bushes and some overgrown shrubs. But our fans don't seem to care as they're just eagerly anticipating this ball. Taken short. IMG trying to get in the box. Matthew denies for a second time. We're going to have our second corner of the game. Will IMG go short again? They have a ball man approaching the ball. But nope, they decide to go long. And it's a beautiful ball into the box. Contact made, but not enough to put it on target. And this is going to be a goal kick for South Florida. Brandon elects to go short. Over to Kawhi. Kawhi up to Gavin. Gavin looking for Julian. Julian with a nice feint inside. Goes back out. Passes it to Adon. Adon with his head up looking for Martin. Just going to come up short as IMG defender cuts in there and steals that ball away. And now he's on the trot down the left side. Martin with a nice intervention there to prevent the attack from going any further, but it's going to result in another IMG ball. As you take another look at that, it doesn't get much cleaner than that, ladies and gentlemen. A little show of David and Goliath lost. Throwing from IMG. Matthew applying the pressure. Ball got across into the box, but not as far as Adon. Adon plays the long ball up the field, clearing the area. Looking for JC. JC gets a little nudge there, and it's going to result in a free kick. First foul of the game. Adon puts the ball up. Doesn't get to the box, but still lands on a South Florida player's foot. Julian now on the trot. Trying to make something happen. Can't do it. Deflecting. It's a scramble for the ball. Julian comes away with it, gets it off to Gavin. Gavin with a nice move to create some space. Plays it into Tiago. Tiago to Brian. Brian back to Tiago into space. Gavin's going to get there. Oh, player down in the box, but no call. Nice pass, and it's a goal. But this is being called back. And it looks like it's going to be offsides. Offsides is the call. Wow, might have to take another look at this one because I thought Tiago got fouled in the box. We should have been looking at a penalty. As we take another look here, it's a beautiful ball played inside. Tiago looked like he was going to get there. He gets a little shove in the back. No foul called. They allowed Gavin to get to the ball, but he was in an offside position. And it was a nice cutback ball to Brian, which resulted in a score, but now wiped off the board as a result of an offsides call. Alright, IMG kicking off. Oh, nice little fake by the left back of IMG as he brings that ball outside, but Matthew's not going to let it go any further. Ball thrown in quickly. Oh, number 19 from IMG drilling some moves, but not enough to get through two defenders. As Brian places another ball well up the middle, but this one's also going to be offside. You can see Tiago checking his back for where he was off. And wow, just look at Brian here. He is picking them out today, ladies and gentlemen. And that could be dangerous for IMG. Beautiful ball between the defenders, but the IMG defenders played it right. They played the ball offsides, and Tiago couldn't do anything but just go to the ball, and unfortunately called for the foul. IMG with a long ball up the field. He's down there to knock it back. Lands at Brian's foot, but he gets a little push in the shit back. And no call made. Oh, a little nutmeg there by the IMG player. IMG pushing the ball hard up the field, trying to get it out of their area. Now having a little bit more controlled passing in the midfield. Let's see what they do with it. Working to the left side. Looking for that number 9. Martin read well. Made the interception. Gets the ball off to Lano. Lano to Brian. Brian looking for Martin again on the run. Oh, nice play there by number 9 of IMG to clear that ball out of the way. And that looks like it's going to be a throw for South Florida. Throw in coming. Trying to get it to JC in the box. Can't reach him. Ball's still free. IMG come in possession and clear it out of their area for another throw. Ball thrown into Tiago. He's just so good with the ball. Plays it off to Brian. Brian looking for a player across. Finds Lano. Lano back into the box to Tiago. Tiago one-touch pass looking for JC. Couldn't find him. Brian able to snake it back. Takes a shot and right at the keeper. Well, that was definitely some good one-touch passing from South Florida, which is oh so dangerous for any defender, as they can't just read the ball and where it's going to go. IMG keeper plays it out quickly. Now they're working the right side, but ineffectively as this ball goes out of bounds. We take another look here at Brian's shot. You can see he takes a nice little takeaway here, and he gets a nice little touch on the ball, getting it on his left foot and taking a strike. Just unfortunately right at the keeper on that one. And he comes away with it clean. Waiting for the throw. Gavin brings it into Brian. Brian back to Gavin. Gavin back to Brian. Now back to Gavin. Gavin with a nice slide tackle pass to Julian. Julian charging up the field. Julian with space gets it off to JC. JC with the shot, and it's a goal! South Florida Football Academy strikes first here, as they were looking very good at the beginning and able to put together those passes quite effectively. And JC putting a nice shot into the top right goal, as he is congratulated by a number of players on the team. And as we take another look, you can see it's a nice ball in from Julian, and JC takes little touches to put that ball into the top right corner. What a goal! 1-0, South Florida leads IMG here in the first half of this ball game. Kickoff from IMG, trying to get back on the scoreboard, trying to get back into this game, but quickly turn it over to Martin. Martin gets it over to Brian. Brian looking for Matthew on the right side. Matthew puts the ball into the space, just nobody there to receive it. Alright, goalie plays it out to the right side. Julian there to put on the pressure. And turn over to Gavin. Gavin looking back. Finds Julian. Julian looking for Brian, who's got yards of space. Brian creating some energy here for the South Florida team, as he's looking for passes and gets one off to Lano. Lano to Matthew. Matthew to Martin. Matthew now invading the area. Martin trying to get it off to JC. Just not enough juice on that pass to get there. And now IMG on the attack, but with only one striker, it looks like they're going to have to hold up play. Another turnover. Julian now with the ball again. Looking to his right. Finds Brian. Brian under pressure with these returning players from IMG, and they snake the ball away from him. IMG now pushing the ball forward. Trying desperately to get into an area where they can try to get a shot on goal, which they have not been able to do aside from the corners that they have taken. Thiago getting on top of these IMG players, trying to make his presence known. As this is a long throw from IMG, but Don playing it safe and kicking it into touch. Here comes the throw. IMG gets ahead to it, but puts it into a space where Martin's able to get his foot on it. And he plays the ball up the field to JC. JC playing it back to Martin. Martin looking for the return ball, but it has it deflected back towards him. IMG now back on the ball. Just trying to crack that ball forward. Maybe just not the best strategy for IMG, as they have only been able to pass it long to blue jerseys and turn over the ball consecutive times. Brian on the attack steals that ball away. He's got runners with him. Blocked pass. And it's going to be a South Florida throw. Into Brian. Brian back to Lano. Lano looking to switch the field. Finds Matthew. Matthew pushing forward. Tries to cut inside. Has the ball taken away. Edon cuts out that pass. Finds Matthew. Matthew playing a little safer this time. Plays it up to JC. JC finds Martin. Martin looking for the pass, couldn't find it. And now IMG again trying to make the most of this attack, but it does not seem like they are getting enough numbers forward to try to have any type of impact in this game. Forced to pass it back. Thiago applying pressure and can't get enough on it, but is able to force it out of bounds. IMG with the ball. Big throw in. But again, only finding a blue shirt until an IMG player comes away with it. Another long pass into an area, but this one is not going to pose a threat as Martin's going to chase it down until it goes into touch. Matthew now on the throw. Passes it into space. IMG with some over-the-head foot passes. Lano now on the ball. Lano passing back to Idan. Idan under a little bit of pressure. Gets it off to Kawa. Kawa now, working that left side. Looking for Gavin and finds him. Gavin to Julian. Julian back to Gavin. Some nice give and go play here. Gavin is outrunning his competition, but it looks like the ball's going to outrun everybody as it goes into touch for another goal kick for IMG. Well, the goalkeeper not taking the kicks anymore. Looks like a defender stepped into the play. As we get another foul called here. Looks like this one's going to be on Brian. Well, it looks like Brian just gets up underneath that defender, and that is a big no-no in the world of soccer. Call for a foul on that one. Alright, as we wait patiently for this kickoff, IMG turns it over. I mentioned earlier that the IMG's had a number of injuries. As you can see, even their coach is injured at this point in time. But they do have a number of substitutes today, totaling about 7. So they definitely have enough people to compete today in this heat. IMG always has a wealth of bodies to pick from, as it is a very large academy. As you can see here in the background, you have a number of games going on as we speak, and a number of fields that they have access to. IMG goal kick. This time they're taking it short, trying to maintain possession on the ball. South Florida quick to apply pressure. And here goes Gavin once again. And Thiago trying to wrestle the ball away from these large defenders of IMG. Nice little move there by the right mid of IMG. As it looks like, oh, Martin with a slide tackle. Thought he was going to get that one, but couldn't come away with it. Pass in to the striker. Makes a nice turn with the ball, but just not enough to get around Idan. And Idan plays that one to Lano. Lano out to Matthew on the right side. Matthew playing it into Martin. Martin back to Lano. Good passing here as Lano plays over to Julian. Julian bringing the ball up. Passes the ball over to Gavin, who's completely uncovered at this point. He's looking for a pass. Finds Thiago. Thiago moving the ball. Passing back. Finds Kawa. Kawa over to Idan. Idan is going to get passed over to Matthew. We've almost completed the circuit of the field. Matthew with a giveaway in the middle. That's not good, ladies and gentlemen. That ball's up the center. Brandon's going to have to come out and makes a nice dive to collect that ball. A little miscommunication there from Matthew and Lano, as Matthew anticipated him holding his spot, but Lano took on a run, and that caused a little bit of chaos. Ball up to Thiago. Thiago plays it over to Gavin on a nice little pass. Not able to penetrate any further, and it looks like we're going to have a referee calling a foul on this one. Not really sure what's going on here. Maybe some jostling back and forth, but I don't really see anything in that challenge. Not really sure what the call is. Kids look just as confused as I am, I gotta tell you folks. I'm not really sure what occurred. I think even Coach Craig is asking on that one what happened, as IMG takes this free kick. Gavin trying to get ahead to it, ends up coming down with the ball. Passes it up to Thiago. Thiago creating so much time with those fast feet of his. He's able to control and pass it back to Gavin. Gavin back to Kawan. IMG's got a few more players up front now, as they're applying pressure to the back defensive line of South Florida. South Florida gets it off to Lano. Lano had space up the middle of the field. He gets it up to Martin. Martin looking for space, finds Matthew. Matthew up to JC. JC unable to move, trying to create something here. Oh, I think he gets fouled in the process, but yep, we got a call. So, foul by number 9 on JC. Looks like he gets his foot right over there. Does win the ball, though. I don't know. Gotta kind of question that one too. Matthew on the free kick. Passes it back to Don. Don with some space here. Plays it over to Kawa. Kawa. Up to Julian. Julian. Up to... Looks like JC was the target, but just couldn't make it to him. IMG starting to settle into the game. It's not as easy for IMG anymore, as they were just making any passes that they wanted. IMG has decided to say, well, we're not going to do that anymore. That didn't work for us. You guys are winning 1-0. We're going to actually come out and defend you now. As Brandon makes a bad pass out of the back, Don has to clean it up. He's looking for someone to get the ball to. He's trying to get it to Matthew. Takes a deflection off an IMG player who runs. Shows a lot of effort trying to get that ball, but ultimately is failing and retrieving it. Ball played up the field. IMG comes down with it, but Martin now trying to shield it away from this IMG player. Can't do it, as Lionel's able to, though, and plays it over to Martin. Martin up the field to JC. JC back to Martin, who's got two defenders on him, and gives up the ball. No foul called. Matthew now trying to win the ball back. Can't do it. He's going to do it, and he launches it into the atmosphere. Some lucky fans got a souvenir on Mars. I don't know who else would have got that ball, but that ball is out of here as Matthew defends that ball pretty well, and it goes out for a corner. Let's take another look at that one, as there was some controversy here, but it looks like it was clearly played off of Matthew, and that is going to be a corner for IMG. Their third of the day. Long ball into the box. Don heads it back down and for another corner. Number 4. Looks like IMG is going to go long again. This time they made contact, but not enough to put it on goal. As Don looks to be a little hurt there. Taking a second to get his breath back. Looks like he might have taken one in the stomach. As Brandon plays this one out to Matthew. Matthew plays it up the field to an open JC who's shielding the ball well, but gives it up to the big 21 of IMG. IMG playing the ball back to their goalie, trying to stretch the field a little bit, and it appears to be working because JC just made a long run from the midfield. Now Gavin trying to win the ball back. IMG still in possession. Still in possession on that left side. Gavin trying to make him work for it, and does, and wins himself a throw. Gavin throwing the ball into Brian. Brian making some things happen, trying to split the defenders. Can't do it. He's getting a little handsy in there. Wins the ball back again. Cuts it back in front of the goal. Oh! And there's a foul called on the play. I think it's right there. Well, I don't really see him making any other contact other than there. Not sure what the foul would be there, as he was trying to play the ball back. But that's the spot of the foul, so it had to be somewhere in there. Again, folks, I'm baffled by some of these calls. I'm not really sure where the fouls are from either team when they are called. But we'll see if they get any better as the game goes on. It is quite hot out there. There is such a thing as a mirage. Maybe that's what we're getting here with these foul calls, is the mirage of the heat coming off the field. As Brian applies pressure there to win that ball, he plays it over to Gavin. Gavin up the field to Tiago. Tiago back to Gavin. Gavin back to Kawa. Kawa across, finding Matthew this time. Matthew with some pressure right away, plays it up to Lano. Lano back to Matthew, who's got space. Matthew's got his head up, he's going to put it into an area. Just nobody there to receive it once again. Well, the South Florida game plan seems to be pretty transparent at this point. They're trying to push it to a certain degree. If they can make a run, they try. If not, they're playing it back. But unfortunately, it looks like IMG has figured this out pretty easy as they have adjusted. And we are just not getting into a scoring area like we were before. IMG now in the middle of the field. A couple of quick passes have gotten them forward. And it looks like Lano's going to commit the foul there, as he pulled on the jersey of the IMG player who got by him. That one, you could tell was a foul. We can take another look, but I don't have a doubt in my mind about this one, as Lionel does give him a little tug, and he goes down immediately. Alright, IMG's big defender, number 21, set to take the free kick. And he lofts one in there, but Adon able to head that away easily. Martin now with a header. .21 for IMG, again back in control. Nutmeg pass through Brian's legs, but Julian intercepts. Martin now on the run on the right side, gets it up to JC. JC this time trying to fake the defender. Little step over action going on. Looking for a pass. He's got room to run here. Passes it across, but intercepted. Here comes IMG. Can the defense hold up? Kawa in chase for this ball. And bam! The ball is out of there. Now we do have a little bit of a change. Don has come out of the game. I'm not really sure as we take another look at this slide tackle from Kawa. But Adon has come out of the game. That is trouble for South Florida because he is a preeminent figure in the backfield. Lano stepping back to that center back position as South Florida go to a back three. So we'll see how this works out. Mora has checked in for South Florida. Mora, the left-footed 2010 player who is playing an age up, has checked in to see if he can bring some magic to this game as the ball is headed back from IMG's throw-in. IMG again playing the ball in the middle of the field. Matthew going to apply the pressure. Quick pass. IMG still in possession. Top of the box. Pass inside. And we're going to be called for an offsides. Offsides on IMG. Good job by the South Florida line to hold their line there. Cause that offsides play as we take another look. Is it in doubt? No, it is not. As you can see, he's clearly behind the defenders when that ball is passed. And, yep, that is a good call by the referee line judge. Thank goodness. Alright, looks like Lano's going to take the free kick this time because now Adon is out. He passes it quickly over to Matthew. Matthew with the defender in front of him has to give it back to Adon, who sends it long. And this ball is parried back, but not too far as it lands at Julian's feet. But he gives it back off of a bad touch. Kawa now on the chase. All South Florida players are getting back. Adon header back to the goalie. And man, that's what happens when you stand on the tracks when the train's coming through, ladies and gentlemen. As Big Brandon came out to retrieve that ball, an IMG player was trying to make contact with it. And I do say try because he wasn't going to get close to it with Brandon there. Oh, mama. Let's hope he's alright. Well, the IMG player is back on his feet and back in the game. So all we can say is, thank goodness for good insurance. Because hopefully he's able to get the care he needs after a hit like that. Oh man, I would definitely not want to be him in the morning. Because he is going to have multiple bruises and possibly a contusion. As the IMG keeper rolls this ball out. Finding another player up in the middle. This is looking good from IMG as they are moving the ball fairly well, but they give the ball away in the midfield. Moore now with his first touch of the game. He swings it around on the left side. Trying to make something happen on the left. He gets a little hung up, and oh! No foul called there. The referee's saying to get back up. I thought he was hooked there for sure, but nothing from the ref. Well, I think Mora should probably call the Bradenton Police Department and file a battery report because he's definitely not getting anything from this referee. As you can see, he's straight up mugged in the middle of the field. Oh, man. Not really sure how that one wasn't called a foul, but here we go again. As the ball thrown down the field by number 21 from IMG. This ball, not a threat to Brandon. Oh, no! Deflection. And this ball lands just outside the top of the box. IMG still in control. IMG moving the ball well here, and their pressure is definitely showing some success, but unfortunately, their bad passing is leading to a lot of turnovers. JC trying desperately to find a player to pass to, but can't do it. And now IMG back in control. Gavin, who's been just a terror for IMG out on the left side, Oh, gets pushed down there, and yet again, no foul called by the referee. Ball into the box. This could be trouble, and it is. IMG has tied it up 1-1. Oh, man. Coach Greg is not going to be happy about that one, as IMG have tied it up from what we thought was definitely a lockdown game, as South Florida was dominating. As we take another look here, you can see a clear push from number 21, IMG, on Gavin, but no call made. And then here's the cutaway as IMG just control this ball in the top of the box. You see Matthew coming over to address it, but oh man, is this guy wide open as he takes this shot. And Brandon tried to get big, but just was not big enough to prevent that one from touching the back of the net. And boy, is he going to celebrate tonight if that ends up preventing IMG from losing this game. Coach Greg's made a couple of changes now. Brandon has checked in on the right back for Matthew. And I think that's pretty much all that's been changed, as Julian gets this ball off to Gavin. Gavin up to Morrow, who's got some speed, and he's moving up the left side. Can't get a cross in, though. Trying to cut the ball back, and the ball goes out for a goal kick. IMG now walking the ball back. They're in no hurry as we approach halftime. Electing to go short under pressure from South Florida. Oh, they give the ball away there. But Julian goes to the ground as he is pushed down by number 20. Again, nothing from this referee as he sees some contact as okay, but others as a big no-no. Ball back to Cow. Cow over to Edon. Edon back to Cow. Cow up the field. Trying to find Gavin, can't find. Brian now on the ball. He's been the magic man today. Although the assist maker is going to be Julian. Brian has found a number of passes into the small areas that have really threatened this IMG team, as Brandon kicks this one along from the goal box up the field. Brian able to come away with it, and a foul called, and the referee is flapping his arm like a chicken. Not really sure what happened. I think he's indicating an elbow here. As we take another look, I'm not really sure what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I see the arm movement, I see what the referee is indicating, but I am just not seeing it in the replay. Just correct me if I'm wrong, I hope I am, but I am not seeing it. As this free kick goes down the field, and 20 plays it over to the right side, cross into the middle, but it's low and easily dealt with by Cow. But we will have our fifth corner of the day for IMG. IMG taking it short. Playing inside. Cut off by Brian. And ball cleared out to Moore. Moore now with some space. He plays it up to JC. JC one-on-one. Having a difficult time. Looking for a pass. Looking for any kind of help. He passes it back to Gavin. Gavin back to Kawa. And Kawa passes it back to Brandon, the goalkeeper. Brandon, the goalkeeper, to Brandon, the right back. Brandon, the right back, now looking for Martin, finds him. And IMG have recovered as they have a number of defenders behind this ball. South Florida playing the triangles, trying to find open players, but IMG effectively getting in between those lines of passing. The spark plug Martin not easily giving up on these balls. He is a threat every single time he's near it, as he is consistently trying to jab it away from the defense. IMG, nice passing yet again. Trying to move this ball to the center of the field. And their striker, number 10, who's immediately met by Brian. And Brian comes away with another one. Gets it off to Thiago. Thiago trying to spin move, can't do it, and plays it off an IMG player for the throw-in. Martin on the throw, throws it back to Brandon. Brandon over to Lano. And the all-familiar side of us playing it across the field, over to Cow. Cow over to Gavin. Gavin up to Julian, as they had done so many times today. IMG finally figured it out and intercepted the pass. IMG now looking, again, dangerous as they move this ball into the South Florida territory. They were not able to accomplish this in the first 10 minutes of the game, but have clearly changed things up and are seriously threatening to take a lead in this game. As Cal plays this ball over the defenders. Gavin fighting for it, comes away with it. Brian now fighting. He gets it off to Kawa. Kawa back to Gavin. Gavin back to Kawa. SFA just settling for any friendly feet that they can find, but ultimately breaking the line of IMG and now moving this ball forward. Gavin over to Mora. Mora, just took a turn right into the defender of IMG and gives it away. Lano back to Brandon. Brandon with a nice cut inside, able to avoid a defender. Passes it back to Lano. Gavin into Julian. Julian back to Kawa. Kawa lofts it over into space. Finds JC. JC puts the ball into an area looking for Martin, but can't find him, and we're going to have an IMG throw. IMG giving the ball away here. Let's see if they can hold on to it. They cannot, as Martin pokes that one away. IMG throw to the corner. And we have a halftime whistle. So there you go, folks. Halftime, 1-1. SFFA seem to be in total control of this game up until the 10-minute mark. And somehow, someway, IMG adjusted and now are seriously threatening to take a lead in this game, as South Florida has got no answers as of yet in trying to get this into IMG's area in order to try to score another goal. I'm sure Coach Greg is going to have a long talk with these kids and try to get them to understand that they need to put another ball in the back of the net if they want to go home winners today. Now, what they're going to have to do to accomplish that is unknown to me, but I will tell you one thing, they are not getting any help from that referee today, as a number of fouls have been called, which, unfortunately, I haven't been able to agree with them, but some of them have been called, or have not been called, I should say, which I thought were clearly fouls. So, you get what you get and you don't get upset is my motto, as these referees are far from perfect, as are anybody, and we'll have to see what happens. Another sponsor today is Sideline Shutterbug, sideline_Shutterbug on Instagram. They have photos of the games, all the players. Send a request if you have somebody particular that you're wanting to get photos of, and they will try to furnish it to you. As you can see, these are beautiful shots, ladies and gentlemen, taken from all kinds of angles on the field to get the best possible impacting shot. So check them out at Sideline Shutterbug on Instagram, and you will not be disappointed. Alright, second half starting off here. South Florida with the ball. Same lineup as before they went to halftime. I think the coach only made one change here, and that's going to bring in Matthew now, starting in the right mid. Looks like Tiago and Moore to start up top, along with Gavin on the left side. And Lano still being in the middle. Kawa now out to the right back, as Brandon's going to be on the left back. Julian with the ball in the middle of the field, trying to make something happen. Gets it off to Brandon on the left. Gavin trying to move up to the left side now, gives it off to JC. JC looking for somebody in the middle, finds Brian. Brian with a nice outside of the foot pass to Matthew. Matthew trying to cut inside now. Nice pass up the middle to Julian. Can Julian make something happen? He passes it off to Moore. Moore's shot! But it's well over the goal. But this is definitely better than what we saw going into the end of the first half. South Florida really making some threat here with a nice ball inside from Matthew to Julian, who then created that pass to Mora, who had space inside, and took a nice shot, just put it a little over the bar. Well, we hope to see more of this as the game continues. Maybe that change with Matthew playing out on the right mid is going to make the difference, as IMG kicks this one off short. Oh, dangerous ball there. JC might have been able to pick that one off. Just caught him by surprise. Tiago with a nice steal right in front of the goal. But it looks like we're going to have a foul called. Curious to see where this one was, because, again, I didn't see anything. Take another look here. Tiago steps in but wins the ball. Not seeing a foul there. And then JC with the ball here. And again, I don't see anything. I'm not really sure where it was, but it wasn't an offsides. Alright, well, I guess that's another one for the I don't know what happened column. As IMG puts this ball down the left side of their field. Kawhi there to pick it up, plays it back to the keeper. Brandon under pressure, kicks it long. Brian now on the ball, plays it up to Thiago. Thiago trying to run into space, plays a nice ball to JC up through the middle, but he's going to get sandwiched between those two big defenders of the IMG team. And the IMG goalie clears it into safety. It's going to be a South Florida throw. And we'll do it again. Gavin on the ball, looking for a place to throw. Finds JC. JC, unfortunately, gives the ball back under pressure. Alright, IMG throwing the ball in. Brandon comes away with it with some nice footwork there and gets fouled for his trouble. IMG player just a little overzealous there with his footwork. He ends up clipping the left back, trying to stab at that ball. That clearly a foul. A good call by the referee. Lionel taking it quickly, gets it off to Gavin, trying to take advantage of some numerical superiority up front, but just can't hold on to it, and it's going to be an IMG throw. Ball down the line, they've got a runner, but Lano is there to sweep it up. Oh, no, this ball's still alive. And due to the crowd here, can't really see what was going on, but Lano came away with it. Oh, pass cut out. Seems to be some overlapping players here. Ball at the top of the box. Matthews on it now. He puts a body into this player from IMG. Referee says play on, and it looked like a good body shot. As Matthew plays this ball down the line to Mora. Mora with a nice feint inside, able to work the ball in. He's on the run. He puts the ball over the top to JC, who heads it into space. Gets onto it. He gets the ball off to Gavin. Gavin now on the left side. He's got two defenders. He's going to look for a pass. Cuts it back inside, finds Julian. Julian now with three defenders on him. He is fighting for his life. Ball ends up with Gavin. And Gavin plays it back to Brandon. Julian now again, one-on-one. Constantly being attacked here. He grabs his face. Looked like he took a shot to the face. As Kawa goes and tracks this ball down. No foul called yet again. Although it may have been incidental contact. Mora plays the ball over to Matthew. Matthew plays the ball long and in the path of JC. JC held up a little bit. Maybe he was in an offside position. Didn't want to play the ball first. This ball goes back to IMG. IMG playing the ball into the middle of the field. They've got a number of players that are open. As they dribble down the middle. And nice tackle by Brandon to clear that ball out of the path of the IMG offensive player who was making a run on goal. IMG with the throw-in. A little bit of tick-tack passing there. Still in control of the ball, top of the box. IMG getting pressured here. Nice interception by Gavin, who plays it over to JC. JC back to Gavin. Gavin pumping the ball out to the field. Looking for Mora. Mora is running. But again, these IMG defenders are a little too big of a match. And they just win the ball. Another long throw from IMG. But Lano's going to get there. Plays it back to the keeper. Brandon back to Lano. Lano with a little bit of space, but it's closing quickly. He gets it off to Gavin. Gavin over to Brandon. Brandon looking up, trying to find Julian, gets intercepted. Ball played into the middle. Brian now taking it away. Brian trying to find somebody, anybody. He's able to control that ball and get it to Brandon. Brandon puts the ball upfield, but in and out of bounds. But we already have a foul called here. And it's appeared off camera, but JC got a good little shove. You'll see him rolling into view here in a second. As he went to go try to play that ball. And clear foul as the referee blows the play dead. Brandon approaching the ball now. Plays it back to Lano. Lano looking across the other side. Plays it over to Kawhi. Kawhi with his head up. Makes a nice little move to get free. Plays it over to Matthew. Matthew plays it in. Finds Thiago. Thiago plays it back up to Mora. Mora now trying to dance around and try to find somebody, but gets it swarmed. Ball ends up with Matthew. Matthew plays it back up to Mora. Mora has it poked away, but it lands to Thiago. Thiago with a nice little spin move in the middle. still has the ball. Somehow this ball is just not finding South Florida feet as IMG scrambled to get enough players back. They give away one here in the middle. Tiago comes away with it. Can he see Gavin on the left side? He can't. Plays it over to Julian. Julian has it poked away in the midst of a shot. And IMG back on the attack. Alright, now Julian plays it back to Cowa. Cowa back over to Matthew. Here we go again. Matthew now trying to make some space on the right side and does. And he puts this ball up in front. Nice ball to JC who corrals it. He plays it back to Mora. Mora, can he get it on his left foot for a shot? He does, but it's just wide of the goal. Oh, Nelly. Mora having 2 shots right out of the gate is never a bad thing. Just hoping that they were a little bit more on target. As we take another look here, as Matthew creates this space down the line. And he's got his head up. He plays a nice little ball in here to JC. JC just had the unfortunate of having number 12 on him. Kind of poked that ball away, but he had his head up. He plays it over to Mora. And Mora in a nice position on the edge of the box, able to juke 21, who's been a difficult defender all day, and get that ball on his left foot for the nice strike. Oh man, if that was just a couple inches inside, that would have been goal number 2, and we would have been comfortably ahead here at the start of the second half. IMG goalie plays it short. Gavin coming in to defend. IMG plays it up. Lano applying the pressure. He is way up the field now, trying to get this ball back. IMG able to corral it, but then kicking into the back of the legs of Gavin. I'll give you one able to throw this ball a mile, but they haven't really been able to do much else in this second half. As Brian plays this ball over to Matthew. Matthew cuts inside. He plays it up to JC. JC with a nice little flick to Tiago. Tiago now looking for Mora. And he just can't find him. It was a good movement and good idea. Just couldn't get there in the end as IMG kicks the ball out. Mora with a nice long ball into the box. Nobody there to capitalize on it though. And IMG goalkeeper scoops it up and rolls it back out quickly. IMG moving the ball forward. And finding white jerseys pretty easily here, as Matthews got between 2 defenders. IMG now moving the ball up the left side, and finally run out of gas because there's nobody there that ball could touch. And Brandon puts it long up the field. Kind of curves in midair and goes out to the left side as Gavin tries to apply pressure to get that ball. IMG dangerously having some bad throw-ins here as they continue to move their feet after the throw. Kind of odd that it has not been called yet, but I've seen it on several different plays. Not something that you typically see called in these youth games, but it's definitely something that needs to be paid attention to as this ball is played up to JC, who's shielding the ball nicely. Oh, it gets a little push and a knock there. And that definitely wasn't called in the first half, but it was called here. JC so good at shielding the ball, able really to protect that ball when needed to, and then frustrates the defenders into doing things like that, which gives us a nice free kick just outside of our area. And Gavin's going to take it here short to Brandon. Brandon up to Julian. Julian over to JC. I'm sorry, that's Brian. Brian loses the ball in the midfield. That's unusual. And commits a foul trying to win it back. Well, kind of expected that. It's the first time I think the ball's been taken from him all game. And I think it was just a lucky stab there. But a little bit of frustration on the part of Brian who was trying to win that ball and commits the foul. Well, free kick. This is a dangerous spot for IMG because IMG have some pretty big legs here that could put this ball in a dangerous spot. And they do. Header on the ball, but not on target. As Brandon goes to get another one because that one is going in the lake. Brandon looks to kick this one long, and he does. But not too long as IMG gets ahead to it, but it falls to familiar feet with Mora coming back. He plays it up to Julian. Julian up the field now. Puts it into space. Unfortunately, no SFA players there. Gavin's trying to come up and corral it. He can't do it. IMG now on the run. Julian with a nice slide tackle to break up that run. Gets it to Brandon. Brandon plays it through the defenders. Gets it to Brian. Brian passes it back to the goalie. Brandon now punts it up the field, but it doesn't get that much farther. Oh, as Gavin is sandwiched between two defenders. No foul called on that one either. Let's take another look at that one. As you can see, Gavin is not the most undersized player, but man, he gets really pushed around in there as he tries to win that ball. And then gets pushed again for his effort. Well, IMG is definitely a little pushy. The referee did see the foul there. Kind of surprised. Wait a minute. Now he's slowing it down, because we're going to have a switch of the goalies. Coach Greg has decided to bring in Valentino. Valentino, who didn't play last game against Orlando City. Now getting the switch here about 15 minutes into the second half. Just about. Valentino has been backup goalkeeper for most of the season, but I should say the second half goalkeeper for most of the season, and has done some electrifying saves while in the goal box, saving penalties and making some spectacular dives in order to save goals here. So let's see how he does right now, as IMG seems pretty tame here in this second half. However, I'm sure they'll get a second wind at some point and put a threat on SFFA's goal. Brandon takes this kick up to Gavin. Gavin popped it up in the air, still trying to win it though, and wins a throw for SFFA. Throw into Brian, makes a nice turn around the defender. Plays this back to Lano. Lano trying to bring the ball through the middle. Nice turn again by Brian. Brian with the ball into space for Moore to get onto it. Can he do it? He does. He crosses it, but it goes out of bounds for a goal kick. That was, again, some nice movement from SFFA. Fortunately, it didn't result in a goal or a shot on target, but this is what you kind of like to see. Playing through the defenders, seeing the runners, and making good plays. It looks like he was offsides on that call, though. What a shame. But good idea. IMG take the kick here. Brought down. Matthew now trying to get it back. Matthew applying pressure to 19. He plays it back. Matthew now moving up forward. Cowan now comes down with it. Oh, no, loses it. And another foul called. This time it's going to be on Brian again. Didn't really see much there. It looked like the IMG player was already in the air trying to win this ball. And all Brian did was come along. Yeah, he was already airborne. There's not really much Brian could have done. I don't think it was an intentional act to knock him to the ground. It just when his body made contact with his in mid-flight, gravity takes its course. IMG again. I'm sure they're looking to put this ball in the box. I think 21 definitely has the leg to do it. And he does, as this ball goes sailing over and into a goal kick for SFFA. Valentino now. Oh, as he's wanting to do the runovers of the ball, plays it over to Kawa. Kawa over to Matthew. Oh, Matthew was under pressure. He gives the ball away. Matthew trying to get the ball back. He's got to be careful here. That player's in the box, and then Don comes and cleans it up. And it's going to be another corner. Well, there have been a number of corners for IMG, and I can't say that I've seen even one for SFFA, and you would think it would be just the opposite with the number of shots that we've had on target or at the goal. You'd think that some of them would go in the area of a corner kick, but none thus far in this game. We have 0, where I believe that this is the 5th or potentially 6th of IMG's today. Running into the safe hands of Valentino, the keeper, and Valentino urging his players to get forward as he may just try to punt this ball up the field. And he does. Kawa trying to head this ball back into space. And IMG relentless in their attack to try to win the ball. Fortunately, kicked this one out of bounds. Matthew throwing the ball up. He's now come in for Kawan at the right back. Valentino trying to play the ball up. Finds Brian. Oh, nope. Correction on that. IMG comes away with the ball. Brandon comes flying in to win that ball back. He plays it over to JC. JC with a nice toe poke. Gavin now on the attack. Him and JC trying to make something happen. But IMG is very quick to get back and hold up this South Florida attack. Nice give and go passing here. Gavin plays JC into the space. JC trying to get creative, but can't keep control of the ball. Well, some signs of life here from South Florida, as IMG are counterattacking now to try to win this game. And that's going to be a South Florida throw. Nice throw there to Brian. Brian trying to pick it up. Wow, now playing right mid. Oh, plays it right to the goalie. The goalie able to catch that one and comes out to his line. Goalie urging his players to get forward. Looks like he's going to punt the ball here. Taking his time. And it's a long punt. Clear into South Florida territory as Matthew tries to get onto this one. Looks like he's going to box out the IMG player and take the throw. IMG, big number 21 in the field again here. Kicks it into a South Florida player. Moore now comes down with it. He plays it over to Julian. Julian's going to try to take this ball up the field and pass it over to JC. JC trying to make something happen on the left side. A little step over, and then a knock pass to Gavin. Gavin playing over to Brian, who's immediately under pressure. He plays it up to Tiago. Tiago looking for that pass to Mora. If he had got that through, Mora would have been in on goal. Lano now in possession. He plays it over to Kawa. Kawa with two defenders on him. Can't get through. IMG come away with it. IMG going on the attack, bringing all their players forward. You gotta say, they definitely want to win this game as they commit to the attack each and every time. This cross went right into the chest of Brandon. Brandon plays the ball up to Tiago. Tiago looking for someone to help. Finds JC. JC under pressure. Look at this. 20 has his arm all over him. And no foul called. Let's take another look. He's riding him like a hobby horse, ladies and gentlemen. That is definitely a foul. And I'm hoping that we get it, the call. And we do. JC lining up on the free kick. No card given to the IMG player. As JC raises his hand and puts it down. Ball's in. It's going towards the box, but that big IMG player is able to head it down. Julian now getting back on it. He plays it over to Kawan. Kawan now with his head up. Plays the ball into Mora. Mora trying to make something happen, but turned into the defender. And we are going to have our first corner of the night for South Florida. Mora lined up on the ball. Strikes. Curling in, but no blue shirts in the area of the ball. And IMG are going to try to clear this one, but don't do so successfully. As Mora is trying to figure out how he's going to get around these three defenders. And ultimately does not, as IMG come away with this. IMG rushing forward. Oh, JC could have got there, but he played it safe and just stayed in front of the defender. Oh, nice tackle there, but man, did he pay for it, as the number 20 just continues to step on him. No foul call. Julian comes away with it. Tiago to Gavin. Gavin now. Play is being stopped while South Florida had the ball and a man on the ground. Let's take another look. Here's the first contact. Not much there. Good call by the referee to let game play on, as I didn't see much in there from IMG fouling Kawa. But take a look at this one. As man, 20 just trucks over JC to win that ball. And JC takes a quick one. Oh, wow, there goes an IMG player trying to win the ball for Brandon. And we are starting to get a little chippy here, ladies and gentlemen, as Matthew overruns that ball. Ooh, that was dangerous. Ball still in play. Matthew applying pressure to the ball. IMG player goes out wide looking for the cutback and wins a corner instead. Actually, no, it's a goal kick. All right. Lano on the ball. Plays it over to Matthew. Matthew has a little bit of space and time. He's going to play the ball long down the right side. Oh, and it finds a little gap through there. Tiago giving chase. Tiago running towards the goalie. Goalie belts it long. Brandon getting in there. Martin now on the ball. He's checked into the game. Martin looking for someone to pass to. Just keeps on getting surrounded. Oh no! Gives it away in the middle of the field. Lano trying to get it back. Oh boy, here we go. Matthew's in chase. Oh, shot! Right at Valentino, was able to pick it up. And, oh boy, that could have been it, ladies and gentlemen. Ball rolled out to Matthew. Matthew takes this ball belts it down the field towards Brian. Brian comes away with it with a nice turn. Got Martin on the left side. Martin now with space to run. Oh no, 21's going to catch up to him. And Martin has to slide tackle to prevent them from moving the ball forward while we had numbers up ahead. We take another look at this one. 15 with a nice ball inside. Brandon was keeping him onside as Matthew was playing the defender behind him. And the one IMG player lets that ball roll so that the other player can get a nice shot on with his right foot. Thankfully for us, he put it right at Valentino's gloves. And we take another look at this from Martin. Martin plays the ball correctly up the field and tries to give chase. Looks like he takes a little stumble there, which takes some of the wind out of his sails. But nice of him to slide tackle that ball out of there so SFFA can regroup for another IMG attack. Ball throw down the field. IMG looking for someone to pass to. Can't do it. Julian comes away with it. Julian now looking up the field. Passes over to Brian. Brian looking, finds Martin. And we have a parent on the field. I have no idea what happened here, ladies and gentlemen. There's just a player down the field. There was no contact from what I could see. And he is just down. And the referee has stopped play both times when SFFA has the ball. Once when one of their players was on the ground, and another time when one of the IMG players was on the ground. And IMG capitalizes on that one because South Florida was on the attack. Both times. Brian does a nice little dribble away from the pressure there. Uh-oh. Ball into space, but nobody there to receive it as Gavin now has the ball. He passes off to Tiago. Tiago with a nice cutback. He's looking for anybody. Finds Gavin. Gavin again pulled down. And 20 holds his hands up. I don't know what is going on there, folks. I've never seen a player able to pull another player down by the shoulder and not have a foul called so many times. Somebody may need to explain the rules to me again because clearly I don't have an understanding of them if this is allowed. Valentino plays this ball out to Brandon. Brandon up to Martin. Martin back into Brandon. This is good movement. Ball played across to the middle. Matthew's going to intercept this one. Oh, he didn't play it strong enough. IMG have a chance here. Recovered. Kawa clears the ball now. IMG still in the attack. Valentino clears the ball long. Mora trying to get under it. Ends up coming away with it. Plays it to Tiago. Tiago to Kawa. Kawa up the field. Number 20 again. I don't know where he's playing that ball to, but he played it up in the air. Mora looks like he's going to try to get there. No foul called on that play. Oh, IMG now. Dangerous. As they've got attackers forward, everyone's rushing back. Kawa with a nice tackle to save that play from developing. Alright, well, we're going to take another look at this one. Yeah, I'm going to go with foul here, unless this has turned into a karate dojo. Not really sure how we got away with that one, folks, but yeah, that's the way it's been going today. As we take a look at this save from Valentino, nice little kick save. Keep that one from going in the back of the net. And then Kawhi running his heart out to make this sliding effort to prevent the IMG from coming at us again. Well, another throw-in coming. And Matthew on the defense. And it looks like he won another goal kick for SFFA. Valentino kicking it short. Not known for his long balls. Kicks it short. Gets it out to the right back or the left back so that they can kick it long like we did just there. Mora passing it back to Julian. Julian back to Valentino. Valentino under pressure gives it over to Brandon. Brandon with a nice pass back to Julian. As SFFA has done for most of the day today, trying to break that defensive line of IMG. Back to Martin. Martin back up to Gavin. Gavin with a nice ball up to Martin. Martin got one player to beat. He's trying to. And, oh, looked like he was going to come away with it there. Oh, and then almost another ball taken away there by Tiago. That would have been nice right in front of goal. IMG now with the ball in the middle of the field. Julian able to get the ball here. And another foul called, this one against IMG. Looks like he got a little bit of his arm. Brian takes it quickly, gets the ball up to Kawhi. Kawhi's going to try to put this one into the box. It's a high ball, but caught at the warning track. IMG goalie passes the ball in. Kawhi's going to come away with it. He passes it back to Matthew. Matthew back to Kawhi. Kawhi under pressure by two defenders. Splits him with the pass. Gets it off to Julian. Julian to Brian. Brian puts the ball up in the air. Julian comes down with it. Puts the ball in the space for Mora to run on. And we're going to have an offsides. Taking another look. Mora is behind the defensive line of IMG when that ball is played. So that is another good call by the line judge. I will have to say, of the criticism of today, it cannot be directed towards this line judge. They are doing a spectacular job with the offsides calls, as I have not seen one of them wrong today. Ball played out to the left side. IMG on the attack and looking good. Stalled out a little bit though, playing the ball back. And Thiago getting a foot in there to break up that play. Thiago to Brian. Brian up the field to Mora. Mora looking for someone to pass to. Martin's on the left side. Does he see him? He does. Martin with a nice touch inside. He just can't outrun that IMG player to win the ball. Ball up. Brandon, it comes down with it. Plays it into Julian's path, but an IMG player got there first. Julian again breaking up the play. Thiago completely taken out. Referee says play on. Ball into the box. Mora gets ahead to it, but it does not threaten the goal. Now Julian with the ball. Kicks it. Oh, and it's going to go wide and right. Well, referee definitely spotted that foul this time, but gave the indication to play on as South Florida looked poised to put a ball on goal. And Julian just went a little off to the right side there with his shot attempt. But overall, fairly good as another offside call made here against Mora. Mora, not known to be a striker, typically a midfielder, may be unaware of where this line is at all times, but he's trying his best to get in behind him so that he can get a quick shot on goal. Matthew has this ball down. South Florida now trying to win the ball back here. IMG on the attack and looking dangerous. IMG with white shirts into the half of the field and not finding any difficulty in finding passes until Julian steps in. Julian now with his head up. He plays it over to the right to Gavin, who has switched sides with Mora. Gavin now on the attack. Could this be a shot? It should be. And it's a shot. Oh, goalie diving save. Back at Gavin. Gavin now playing it over to the right side. Kyle looking to put it into the box. Oh, Mora with a jumping effort. Almost got a piece of it. Lands to Martin. Martin tried to put it back in. Couldn't do it. This one lands to Lano. Now Lano looking to take a shot. He does. Oh, and it's just left of the goal. Well, that should have been it, folks. Good save by the IMG keeper, and they have just kept themselves in it, and the game's still tied 1-1. As this is a nice ball down the line by Julian. Way to see the vision there. Gavin running. And Gavin just all alone here. Basically one-on-one with the goalie because no IMG player is going to the ball. And he just sees it. And man, the goalie makes a diving effort to knock that ball down. And we can see here from Kawa, he puts a nice ball into the box. Mora trying to bicycle on that one. Misses it. Lands to Martin, but he couldn't handle it. And then Lano with a nice ball in the middle of the field. Strikes. And the IMG goalie dives for it, but doesn't make contact as he knew it was going wide of his goal. IMG now. Goal kick up the field. Oh, bad luck there on Martin's part as he got a piece of that, but it hit into the IMG player. And now they are on the attack. Julian giving chase. And, maybe getting called for the foul there. As he plays this ball out of bounds. The flag is up on the right side. Looks like the line judge is going to call him for that one. He just decided to hold his hand a little bit too long there and pulled him down to the ground. Uh-oh. And the referee is coming over to consult with the line judge. Not sure what we're looking to do here. And the referee's going to his pocket. Wow. I think this is the first foul on Julian of the day, and it's going to result in a yellow card. It wasn't a clear scoring opportunity, and he wasn't even in on goal. I'm kind of shocked to see the card there because it wasn't even a forceful foul. So Julian in the books here with precious few minutes remaining, and IMG threatening to go in on the goal. IMG bunching up a little too much here. Could it be a detriment to them? And it is, as they give the ball away. Gavin again trying to get this ball up to Mora and able to find him. Mora with a nice poke with his toe, but does not have the speed to get up to the ball, as I'm sure all the SFFA players are exhausted at this point. As Brandon hustles back to win this ball away from IMG before they can go take a shot at Valentino. Valentino playing over to Matthew. Matthew with time and space. He plays it over to Kawa, who's under attack, but still manages to win the ball. Plays it up to Thiago. Thiago now, harried and under trouble. He passes it up to Kawa. Kawa now, passing it down the line, and he's looking for Gavin, but he ain't going to find him. And the IMG keeper just kicks this one away for a South Florida throw. Fatigue setting in on all sides, I think. As Kawa throws this one into Brian. Brian with a nice touch pass to Kawa. Kawa into the box. Oh, Julian jumped, but he just couldn't make contact with the ball. Another shot. Brandon well left of the goal. No threat there. Goal kick from IMG. Martin trying to win that ball. IMG passing back and forward. Oh, they've got a runner here. This is trouble. Matthew back and clears the ball out to fizzle out that attack. Corner for IMG. I believe this is the 7th of the day. And they're going to take it short as a player runs in. They do. Cuts outside. Puts a ball across the goal. IMG still in possession. Matthew coming over to defend. Kawa there to defend. Matthew now in a horse race to try to win this ball. Can't get there. IMG surrounding. Nice slide tackle by Martin to break up that play. And another one by Brandon. Oh man, that was some cutthroat defending right there. That could have been really bad for SFFA. As Mora is struggling to try to keep this ball. Oh, nice little play there from Mora. And he's going to be whistled for a foul. Oh man. Well, let's take some looks at these plays as Martin comes in here and prevents that shot. And then Brandon clearing it out. Now Mora. Oh yeah, that's a little bit of a shove there. That's uncalled for. I think that might be a little bit of frustration shining through. As IMG line up on this ball, looks like he's telling everyone to get back into their goal. He puts that ball way long. Yeah, more white shirts should have been in the box for that one. But Valentino able to scoop it up and is urging his players forward as he punts this one long up the field. Brought down by IMG. Brian now on the ball. Plays it back to Lano. Lano puts it into space. IMG controls. Punts it back at Valentino. Valentino quickly rolls it over to Matthew. Matthew punts the ball long up the right side. Mora's running on it. Mora's going to win it. Mora now. 1-on-1. Ball's taken away. Played back to the keeper. And the keeper punts it out. And it looks like we have a foul on Mora. Ball played out to the left side. Brian comes down with it. Brian playing the ball down the right sideline. He's got Gavin. Gavin's in a race with the keeper. And the keeper wins on a slider where he comes in and scoops that ball up. And that'll be it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the ball game. Referee, blow the whistle. And we are going to be at a tie. 1-1. South Florida Football Academy versus IMG is in a tie. Again, these two teams will meet each other once again next week. This time at Loggers Run Park, where they will hope to get some vengeance on this team and have some additional players in support, as their captain, Nidan, had gone out earlier in the game with an injury. and they really had not too many people left on the bench to help out. So IMG may have gotten away with one here today, as South Florida looked like they were in control at the beginning and then slowly let the game slip away, coming back in the second half with some really intelligent soccer and some good plays to threaten the goal, but just couldn't keep up the pressure as IMG just had a number of reserves to keep throwing at them and keep them at bay. Heat more than likely also played a factor today, as it was unbearably hot, even for Florida, and when you don't have enough subs, that can definitely be an issue. Referees also played a factor today, I'm sorry to say. Quite a few fouls were missed on the side of the Blues. Only one yellow card in the game, and that was to Julian after he committed no fouls previously and was blown for basically holding someone's hand until they fell to the ground. So a little frustration here. Home field advantage, I guess you would call it. So IMG reaped the benefit there. But I'm sure Coach Greg is impressed with the play because South Florida kept in it the whole time. They didn't just resort to sitting back and doing nothing. So we hope that you enjoyed the game, and will join us next week when we bring you IMG versus South Florida Football Academy, this time at Loggers Run Park. Again, thank you all for watching. Click like and subscribe if you like what you hear and like what you see. And we hope to see you again. Thank you.